Hello, Leo. It's Jen with Bohemian Path Tarot. Thanks so much for dropping by. We've got another tarot reading today with the Light Seers Tarot deck. This is the pocket-sized edition, which is super handy, especially for clumsy hands. I'm going to go ahead and give her a great shuffle for you, and I'll meet you on the other side for your reading. Okay, Leo, let's see what we've got. We start with the Page of Pentacles. This page has come out for a few readings already. The Wheel of Fortune. Six of Pentacles. We're seeing a theme and a color scheme. And the Page of Cups. Okay. So, pages for me are messengers. That means typically messages coming in, messages. And this could be very much messages about relationships, connections. This could be friends. This could be siblings. A lot of times it's invitations from dating apps, from crushes, responses to, swipes or winks or whatever app you're on, however that works for you. Exes from the past. As I'm recording this, we're about to go into Mercury retrograde, and so this could be exes reappearing, or crushes reappearing, that sort of thing. So if you are in the market for that sort of thing, this would be an excellent time to explore that. If you're already in a thing and you don't know what it is, a situationship, this would be an excellent time for figuring out, for having those conversations. What is this? Could it be? Do we want it? If you're not interested in that sort of thing, this would be an excellent time for clearing the air and saying, if someone's issuing invitations for being kind, but firmly indicating you're not interested. This could be a great time, though, for getting back in touch with friends that maybe you've been too busy to hang out with, for reconnecting with siblings, family members, that sort of thing, for even considering what connections are important to you and considering how you can make more time for them in your life, and maybe what connections aren't reflecting the best parts of you, what connections maybe have run their course, that sort of thing, what connections and maybe you don't need to make time for. Sometimes we feel obliged to keep our calendar open, or feel obliged to make space for social appointments, if you will, with certain people. And, maybe this is a good time to reconsider our connections. That's what this Page of Cups means. If you have been going through a time when your connections have dwindled, a lot of us, especially after, the pandemic, when we had to quarantine and our social calendars became very sparse. And maybe this is a time to really consider how we can strengthen the bonds that may have waned in the last few years. Anyway, you get the idea. But this is the general energy for this reading. Social connections, going deeper, which connections require, or not require, that's not the best word, but which connections, where can you practice more vulnerability and intimacy? You'll be receiving more messages and opportunities in those areas to be more vulnerable and intimate. So it's a chance to practice those social skills. Now, the Page of Pentacles, on the other hand, is about resources, about time and money and, your sort of career, work, savings, financial portfolio, retirement, that sort of thing. There's also a piece too about your physical body, your home, your work home, if you're still, working 9 to 5, your retirement plan, how you spend your time in retirement if you're in that phase of your life, or if you're a student, kind of where you're going to school, your dorm life, your dorm environment, that sort of thing, like your general environment, from body to home. So the Page of Pentacles is all the sort of messages and information and the sort of connections you make directly about that. So how are you saving funds? How are you making a living? Are you happy in your home environment? Do you need changes in your home environment? Do you need to get a roommate? Do you need to get rid of a roommate? Is it time to get a new job? Are you looking for a new job? Are you submitting, resume? It's going to be different for different Leos. But the fact that the page shows up indicates that there may be, messages coming in about job interviews or, second interviews or, mortgage paperwork being due, or don't forget, your taxes or information about your 401k, or obviously finances is not my area of expertise. And certainly if you have any financial needs, please consult a professional, which is not me. But any paperwork that needs following up or submission, this is an excellent time to be doing research and following up on just your general resources and foundations. And that really dovetails with this next card, which I love for Leo, the Wheel. This is a shift. This is a change. The kind of general vibe for the Wheel of Fortune is like a change in fortune, which feels like a change in luck. But we know that we make our own luck to a certain degree. Like, we have to go out and participate in life in order for things to happen. Opportunities don't just come to our front door. Like, in order to get a job interview, we have to submit a resume or submit a portfolio or whatever. In order to get a car, we have to go to the lot and look at cars, or go to online, whatever those websites are, where you can look at cars online. Whatever it is, we have to put in action. But the Wheel of Fortune indicates a time when there are more opportunities and we are more in line. We see more opportunities that are more ripe and that are more kind of ripe for us specifically. So I love it when the wheel comes up. It's kind of an easier time to get the things. It feels like a more manifesty time. But of course, we're doing the legwork, but we're just kind of more in line with the things that we want. And the things that we want are kind of ripe for us and ripe. It's like, when you're picking, like, say you want strawberries, you go out to the strawberry field. There are times you go out to the strawberry field and they're still like little white strawberries. They're not like quite ripe. You know where the strawberry field is, but you kind of have to wait for them to ripen. But this is like, the Wheel of Fortune is like, you go out to the strawberry fields and they're plump and they're juicy and they're ripe for the plucking, and there's nobody else has been in this field. All the strawberries are there for us. That's what this card is kind of like. I love strawberries. I hope you're not allergic to strawberries, Leo. And then finally here we have the almost ripe card. So we go from this where the wheel is the card, where like we've just shifted here. We're just shifting. It's like the page is, putting out the resumes, kind of getting that first interview, feeling like going to the interview and like nailing the interview. And this is that moment right before we get the message that, we booked the gig or the job or whatever it is. This is almost there, not quite there, but almost there. The Six of Pentacles is typically that, and that fair energy exchange, that reciprocity. We put in, we get out, we get it, we put it. So, like for all the work that you put in, you get a fair exchange for the effort you put in. This is the almost there, the fair exchange. It's on the horizon. It's not quite right, but it's almost there. So, Leo, it's interesting. Let me point out, first of all, we've got, let's point out the interesting things about the reading. First of all, we've got two pages. Pages are typically about messages coming into. So there's a piece where there's information coming into you that is about effort that you have already put in, that you're waiting for a response, that you're waiting for a reaction from outside of you. But there's also the piece that requires your effort, that requires your research, that requires your choice, that requires your reflection that is inherent in the pages. Okay. Oh, and with pages, there may also be someone younger than you that is bringing in information or has some input or has some kind of a suggestion for you that can positively influence the situation or your decision or a point of view. So if you get an interesting input from a younger person, don't poo-poo it, especially for the relationship piece, especially if it's from a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or for the resources piece, especially if it's from a Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. So there's that piece. Let's also point out the loudest card in this reading is the Wheel of Fortune because it's major arcana. And so the largest piece is this Wheel of Fortune card, this shift into this more ripe, more opportunities, more ready opportunities. You still have to go out and meet the world. Like you still have to go out into the field and pick the strawberries, but it's summertime. Almost. There's still this piece where things are still in motion. There's still the offer. Like I really see for so many of you, it's like there's a job thing that you have put yourself out for, something like that. There's some kind of offer that you're waiting for an answer on. It's just not, the ink is not yet dry, but it is forthcoming. So hang in there, but it is forthcoming. Wow, Leo. I hope you like your reading. I'm excited for you. When you get the gig or whatever this thing is, and maybe for some of you it's a car or a house or something like that, but please feel free to drop a note in the comments. I'd love to hear about whatever this is. In any case, I hope you find this inspiring. I hope this gives you some options, some validation. Thank you so much for dropping by today, Leo. Take good care of yourself. Until next time, bye for now.